Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw, the dirt sheet, the only place you need to come to on the internet for youtube.com/internet, Steve and Larson. I haven't worked out my dirt sheet intro yet, Larson. Have you? Can you tell? We are available, however, on the iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Podbean, Stitcher Radio,
you said Podbean
SoundCloud.com/see Stephen Larson. And the iTunes, YouTube.com/Stephen Larson. So yeah, this is a place we conglomerate, we comb through the dirt sheets, and we are the ultimate dirt sheet. We look at all the stuff, we figure out what's fake, what's real.
We don't do any of that.
No?
No.
We take the most salient bits of information.
Yeah.
We weed out the bullshit. Because we
try to.
We look at stuff and we're like, is this right? And then we're like, that can't be right.
Yeah, we do that sometimes.
We don't use it. Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, sometimes we do that. Okay.
If you want to know what the best wrestling news is, you don't want to have to, because we subscribe to a couple places, give info from that stuff. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good operation we got going.
All right, well, let's test this. Mm-hmm. Start with our first news story.
Okie doke.
According to the Wrestling Observer, there have been talks within the WWE about doing a Shield reunion.
Oh, dear.
At either Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble.
People love the Shield, man. Now that Seth Rollins is a face, and Dean Ambrose is always kind of straddling the line between...
And Roman Reigns is obviously a face.
He's going to be a face.
Seems like the time, at least to people in WWE, is right to bring the Shield together in kind of like a one-night-only event.
I feel like it's too early.
That's what I was going to say.
They've been broken up since 2014. That's essentially like yesterday.
Yeah.
That's like nothing. That's like a year away from.
They need at least 2 more years before they get back together.
At least, man. I mean, and it should be natural. It should So they're saying, Wrestling was saying Survivor Series or the Rumble. I mean, those are Survivor Series is a month away, basically.
Yeah, that's gonna interrupt whatever storyline is going on between Rollins and Kevin Owens or Rollins and Triple H, unless they encompass. Say if they do, this is what I thought.
Okay. I'm
not saying it's gonna happen, but I'll put this out there.
Your idea is better than.
What if they do something like this? Because Survivor Series is a both brand pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So you have one team that's the Shield. Plus John Cena. There's usually 5 on a team, right?
Yes.
For a Survivor Series match.
Yes, that is correct.
All right, then somebody else against, say, Triple H, Kevin Owens, Styles,
Jericho.
So have Sami Zayn, and then Jericho on the other team, on the heel team.
Yeah.
Just take all the Miz, maybe just wrap all those storylines into one Survivor Series match. That might be plausible somewhat, but you're just completely taking away potential matches for the rest of the card by doing that.
Well, I like your idea because there's a lot of stories that could be told just right. Because off the top of my head, I'm thinking like Cena and Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Then you got all the Shield in there. So I see how that could be sort of better than like just 3-on-3. But like you said, that's sort of taking a lot of matches off the table in that particular pay-per-view. It's gonna be like a SmackDown pay-per-view with like not a lot going on.
Well, Backlash was plenty fun.
It was a good pay-per-view. I'm just
No
saying,
Mercy is going to be fun.
Only had like 6 matches on the card.
I know, but there was a lot of wrestling on the show.
Lots of good wrestling. Lots of good wrestling. I agree with that. I don't know. I mean, I'm like I said, this is better when it happens sort of. Okay, so when was that one time? What was that one time that Rollins?
Yeah, they did a thing together. And
Rollins was the heel. Yeah, that was organic.
Yeah,
that felt good. I don't even remember what this
was. That like a fatal 4-way match or something like that?
Yes, it was, and they put like Orton, I think, through the table, or Lesnar or something. No, it wasn't Lesnar.
No, it was. Was it Cena?
Was it Cena or Orton? I want to say it was Orton.
Maybe it was Orton.
Maybe it was neither of those guys. I don't know. I want to say it was Orton though, or Kane, Undertaker, something like that.
I don't remember.
I don't know what it was. But anyways, that was a really good organic way of doing it. So I mean, if they're able to sort of build it into something from something else, then I'm totally for it. But in terms of it still feels so recent. You know what I mean? So like,
it seems way too soon.
It's hard for me to get too up for it because it's like, I mean, that's fine. I get to see the Shield all the time, anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, just doing their own thing. I'm not really,
In 2 to 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Keep them apart for 5 years, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
This is a story that actually is true because
Yeah.
WWE.com reported on it.
Well, then we know it's true.
Yeah, I know. WWE.com reported Monday that Vince was injured while working out.
Yes.
And Wrestling Observer reports that he must have or may have torn his quad while doing squats.
Yeah.
And he had surgery earlier in the week to repair that injury. And then WWE made notice saying that he was going to be in the office Wednesday, which I'm guessing might have been the day after surgery.
Yeah. You know, the thing that this always, of course, reminds me of is that time Vince McMahon came running down to the ring, slid in, and completely blew out his legs, whatever the hell happened. I think
Yeah,
that
he was
his
just
quad
getting
too.
up. And then he sat right where he fell
Yeah.
and continued to deliver his promo.
Yeah, he just started barking at everybody, and everybody looked so confused. They're like, how can I take this seriously?
I know.
Like, I'm surprised it's the boss. You're not going to laugh at him.
I know.
But I'm surprised that nobody started cracking up a little bit because I know the entire crowd was like, why is he delivering that promo sitting down?
I know.
Like, you got to stand up. You look like an idiot.
And when I first heard this, I thought maybe he was doing squats, fell, and just sat there and continued lifting weights, just doing shoulder presses.
Well, in keeping with tradition, that's the history we know from
Because
him.
Vince isn't going to stop doing what he's doing just because he blew out his quad.
Oh, he's not going to let blowing out his quad, but apparently he's going to have surgery?
No, he already did.
Oh, he had surgery. Okay.
And he was in the office, I'm guessing, the next day. Where did you hear that story, or where did you hear the story where he doesn't like to sneeze? Is that Heyman that told that story?
Oh, man. It was either a Heyman or like Tommy Dreamer. I think it sounds like a Heyman thing.
Because he doesn't like losing control, right?
Yeah. That sounds like, that was Heyman on like one of the podcasts.
That's so funny.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Because it's a lack of control that you have. You said it in the perfect Heyman way, too. Crazy Vince McMahon. He's not going anywhere anytime soon, man. Yep. Final say right there.
This is probably our most interesting story of the week.
Our podcast competition. He started out hot, man. Conversations with the big guy, Ryan Reeves, a.k.a. Ryback.
Well, soon that won't be his name, though.
That's right. Tell us why.
He confirmed on one of his recent episodes of his podcast
So dumb.
that he's going to change his name.
So dumb.
This is a quote.
What is he going to change his name to, Larson?
I'm getting to that. Quote. This is the man formerly known as Ryan Reeves talking.
Ryan Allen Reeves, I think.
I will be known as Ryback Allen Reeves. So he's changing his first name to Ryback.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone, this is again a quote from him, I don't think anyone outside of Warrior has done this.
Assuming he means within the pro wrestling industry, but move on.
Think of the episode of The Simpsons where Homer changed his name to Max Power.
Exactly, yeah.
I feel like if my name was a little different, I might second guess it. Ryback is not so off the wall or so different than Ryan.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is. It's a fake pro wrestling name. And in fact, we have a friend named Ryan, and it would be really weird if he changed it to Ryback. There is a huge difference between
Let me
the
ask
two.
you this.
One is a normal name, one is not.
What if our friend changed his name to Ryback? Would you honor that name change and call him Ryback, or would you continue to call him Ryan? Say he insisted on being called Ryback.
I would say it, but in the most asshole way possible.
Okay.
I would say, "What's up, Ryback?" Every time I saw him.
So you wouldn't no-sell it?
Well, in my own way, it's kind of a no-sell because it's mocking him every time he did. It'd be basically calling him an idiot every time.
I guess so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ryan, I mean, I'd be like, Ryan, no, I'm not going to. I mean, it could go one of two ways. I could either do that, which seems more me, or I could be like, hey, Ryan. And he's like, I said call me Ryan. I'm not going to do that. That's not your name, dude. Your name is.
No, you do the first one.
Yeah, I'd do the first one.
So, but later on, there's a quote from him that actually brings up something that's actually worth talking about. Again, a quote from Ryback Allen Reeves.
Okay, yeah.
I created this, and many talents in the WWE create their brand. This, I assume he means Ryback, the character.
Yeah.
And they always tell us that we are responsible for our brand, and I am so fully responsible for my brand, and I don't think it is fair for guys to spend a good chunk of their time in one place, and when they leave, they are not allowed to use that identity, which isn't fair, and I definitely think it needs to change. More people need to speak up on that and take control, and I am just doing what is right for me. There is a huge difference between promoting the big guy Ryback and Ryan Reeves, and it's because that is the brand that they associate with me, and it's not fair to give talents everything they have and to be the ones to take that away and leave them with nothing. So I'm only looking out for myself, and with what I am trying to establish outside of the WWE. Now, I will give Ryback credit for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was thoughtful enough to go out and trademark what Feed Me More,
Yeah.
Ryback,
Yeah.
some of the other things, the marketing things that WWE used, or he used in WWE.
Yeah.
He went out and trademarked that stuff before WWE did, apparently.
Well, here's the thing.
So that's thoughtful. He showing some initiative there.
There is one thing that I have to play devil's advocate for, or at least concede to him, is that when the WWE did try to trademark Ryback, they were denied. They tried, and they said, but Ryback is actually a legitimate surname.
Yeah.
So he's got that kind of in his favor. And the thing is, I can't stand when people say it's not fair to do these things. If it's not fair, don't sign a contract. You know what I mean?
See, because like for the reason WWE gives, not so much anymore, but for a while, gives new talents new names, is so they own that IP. Because the WWE invests a lot of money and time into developing them, whether they're in developmental or on the main roster, into developing that character. So it only stands to reason that they should own that name.
Right, exactly. I mean, if you look back, and the thing is, it's okay to say, okay, well, now the WWE, they're the biggest company in the world in terms of pro wrestling. That's fine. But back in the 90s, they were neck and neck with WCW. And if they had this policy of being fair and letting their people take that stuff that they built for them.
Razor Ramon would have been on WCW instead of Scott Hall.
Exactly. Now, as it happens, Scott Hall using that name probably benefited them more. But then you had other guys who would go over there, and they would have been much more, it would have been much more beneficial for them to use those names that the WWF built for them, made for them, and like you said, invested real money, real resources are put into these creations of the WWE. And so to say it's not fair, it's like, granted, I understand that it's a collaboration between two parties, but at the end of the day, as so many wrestlers like to say, you sign a contract understanding the terms of it. When Alberto Del Rio gave his little shoot interview a week ago talking about his release from the WWE and the wellness policy, he said, look, that was on me because this was what I signed in the contract. So I'm not going to sit here and talk about what's fair and what's not fair. Ryback has basically used all these resources that the WWE put behind him, walked out, waited for his contract to expire, and then is now using all of those resources they put behind him. He's using that to further his own career. And like you said, good on him for trademarking what he did trademark. But make no mistake, the WWE pumped a lot of money into him. So, you know, I don't buy the whole, it's like when people say YouTube, and I'm completely on the side of the fence in terms of YouTube demonetizing things. I think there's like a lot of really bad maneuvers that they've made there. But when they start using free speech into the argument, no, it has nothing to do with free speech. It has to do with them being a company wanting to run things a certain way. And then, you know, and there's problems with that. But it's not a free speech issue. You know what I mean? That's not, don't call it a free speech issue.
The one thing, in terms of going back to all this WWE owning IP and stuff, the one thing that does kind of issue or incident does kind of bother me is the Cody Rhodes one. Because there's historical precedent for that name outside of the company.
Oh, yeah. Dusty Rhodes came into the company as Dusty Rhodes. WWE didn't. And so, no, I'm 100% with you on that one. And in fact, I believe that if the reason they're using is it sets a dangerous precedent down the line, what you're saying, I would think their lawyers could argue, well, he's coming into this with his dad's name. You know? And so, yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. But stuff like Damian Sandow, I mean, you know, it's sad because Aaron Rex is a horrible name.
Well, when he was doing indie shows, he would be Aaron Stevens. But some promotions would say, you know, formerly known as Damian Sandow, stuff like that.
And it makes me want, I think that I was reading that lately that the WWE has been a bit more vigilant in sending out cease and desists for promotion about that stuff. And I don't know if that is for using formerly known as. I don't know if legally that gets you off the hook using formerly known as.
I don't know.
I know a lot of wrestling promotions probably don't have the resources to fight that legally if they get a cease and desist for using formerly known as. You know, the 100% of the 99% of the battle is going to be shelling out for a lawyer. You know,
But you see a lot of guys who left WWE go out in the indies wrestling under different names or their own names.
Yeah.
And while with WWE or even with WCW or TNA, they've managed to build enough of a brand for themselves that people recognize just their likeness.
Right.
The name isn't necessary.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, like you said, also I think that this is it was fortuitous big time for Ryan Reeves, for Ryback Reeves now, to it was just plain, I think, probably dumb luck that the WWE wasn't able to trademark Ryback, because at this he would have no. I honestly think if I go into the WWE and they make me into a person, if they make me Donut Man, I'm looking at my Donut Comics thing over there. If they make me Donut Man, and I want to leave the company and continue to be Donut Man, can I then change my name to Donut Man legally and use that? I have no idea what the legalities are there.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I imagine it probably isn't that dissimilar. I mean, I have no idea. I can't even say.
I don't know either.
No idea.
I
noticed this from yesterday. Let's see here. Kevin Nash shooting on CM Punk.
I saw that.
Tell me that's not a good thumbnail.
That's good.
You like that? Let's see here. He talked to Ian Chambers of Knott's TV News, and he decided to talk a little about CM Punk. You know, they had some dealings back in 2011 when Nash was brought in. We talked about that on one of our shows this weekend. And they said, what do you think about Punk's decision to step into the octagon? He said, that's his decision. He says, 37 seems late to get in the fight game. I didn't get a chance to wrestle with him per se, but I got the chance to be out there with him. He seems very talented at what we do, but it's different. Yeah. He said, you know, throwing him out there with Mickey Gallo's got like 5 or so fights. I think he had like 2 fights, but he says 5. He says, oh, well, 0-1. I guess he's not the best in the world anymore. And you could just hear Kevin Nash with that like sort of shit-eating grin on his face.
Yeah, exactly.
This is kind of interesting too. He said when asked about his thoughts on comparisons between Punk's complaints about The Rock swooping in to take the WrestleMania
that was
headliner
interesting.
spot versus what he's doing in the UFC now, Nash said the only difference is that The Rock actually delivered. He said, no, Rock delivered. The fact that he came in as CM Punk tells you what they were pushing. They're pushing to a fan base that he had in the WWE. And he said he heard that he had a 4-fight deal, so there's 3 left. We both know that Dana White already said his next fight's not going to be here. So yeah, he said, I think it's different from what we do because we can put people in places like we talked about with Ryback. We put people in certain situations. The WWE does. Yeah. He said what he did was basically ask for an ass beating, so it's different. So yeah, check that out. There's a whole lot more that's of interest with Kevin Nash there. So that was Knott's TV News. We'll link to it in the description. Yeah. So I'm always interested when Kevin Nash has something to say, you know, because he is. We mentioned this on our countdown show coming up. So-so booker, so-so wrestler, but there was a lot that Nash had to say that was always interesting. Yes. And he is one of the more interesting characters. Whenever he's on the TV talking, you always wanted to know what he had to say because he's a real sharp mind.
Yeah, he is. One of his Stone Cold podcasts is great.
Oh, yeah. A couple of them. Remember they were doing the Uber Facts?
Yeah, that was fantastic.
You and me were driving down the road listening to that, just cracking up. Yep. That was really good stuff. So it's always fun when Nash has something to say, and CM Punk was his target these days.
Yeah. Do you want to talk some NXT?
Good episode.
It was great.
Yeah, it was a really good episode.
The show opened with Samoa Joe coming out, dropping a promo, more or less saying that how he approached acquiring and holding the NXT title was wrong.
He did some reflecting. He said, I looked in the mirror, didn't see what I liked, perhaps. Yeah. Should have done things different. So he called out Shinsuke Nakamura, who I realized has an entrance that's very long, which might not suit for these things. Like, for his matches, yeah, you want the whole entrance. Yeah. When he's coming out just to talk, maybe they can whip up like a expedited version of his entrance. Yeah. Because he still gives it his all. I don't really care. I think it's great. I'll watch his entrance whenever. When he came out, I was like, oh, that's right. There's going to be 3 minutes of this. Yeah. You know.
So anyways, Shinsuke gets to the ring. Mm-hmm. Joe asks for a rematch. Mm-hmm. Shinsuke agrees. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all very cordial.
In typical Shinsuke fashion.
Yeah, they shake hands. Yeah. So Joe walks out of the ring. Yeah. And as Shinsuke is making his way up the ramp.
Again, about a 3-minute process.
Yeah, Joe comes from behind and attacks him.
Oh, destroys him.
gives him like a choke slam type thing on the ring steps. And that required immediate medical attention because they strapped Shinsuke to a board, put him on a gurney, and wheeled him out.
They were very, 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 very concerned about him. See, this is the thing I like. I love when it's a work injury, and I know for a fact.
Did you see him throw up the X? One of the refs threw up an X.
Did he do that?
Yes.
Oh, that's disappointing. That's absolutely disappointing.
Yep.
I don't like that at all.
I don't either.
When I see the X, I know I should be concerned.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to see the. It's funny because I sort of turned away and then I looked back and I was like, nobody's throwing up an X, but I guess they did.
They did.
Man, that's a bummer. I just keep those two worlds separate.
I agree.
How can they? What if he really was hurt?
I know.
And what if there was a difference in the people that came in?
Oh yeah, the medical personnel.
What if there's a difference there?
No, I know.
It seems like they brought in real medical people.
Yeah.
I guess at that point, ref would just say, is there a safe word at that point? Is there something deeper than the X?
I don't know.
Does he say something else? Does he say, cranberry, cranberry, cranberry? This is bad. This is bad.
Yeah, I don't know. These are all good questions.
I did like this, though. What happened next?
So Regal goes out to the parking lot looking for Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And Samoa Joe is in the passenger seat of
of an
SUV driving by, and Joe yells at him.
He's hanging out the window.
Get better security.
The great thing is, I'm so glad you put this here because I think Bama was crying or something when that happened, and Joe drove off, and I didn't hear what he said.
Oh, it was so
in my
funny.
own mind, it was "Fuck you, Regal."
No, he said, "Get better security."
Great, that was awesome.
Joe's gonna kill you.
I'm the best guy.
So that was great.
That was really good. Liv Morgan took on Rachel Fazio, and Liv delivered a promo that's worthy of developmental.
She wants a match against Asuka.
Asuka's gonna kill her. Yeah, Liv Morgan, she needs to go back to promo class, I think, a little bit. This is NXT serves its purpose. It's developmental for some people. I just felt that she needs a lot more polish before, they bring her up.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch Talking Smack?
No.
It's so entertaining.
I have to. I know.
Okay, I know there's too much.
There is too much. I couldn't even.
So
I had to skip the tag match on the Cruiserweight.
Oh yeah.
Classic Finals because it was getting so late. We'll get to that in a second.
I'm very quickly becoming a fan of Hideo Itami.
Yeah.
I'm understanding the hubbub about him because we didn't really get a lot of him in NXT before he got injured.
He didn't really show this level of intensity, if I recall,
before
he got hurt.
He has not. And even in his earlier matches, since he's been come back, he seems like he's just getting back into the groove of things, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But this was the first match that I was like, oh, I like this. I like this a lot. I'm still not a fan when he does the combo thing because I think it's just way too slow and people want it to be fast, but it's not. But otherwise, I like the way he works, and I love to see the GTS back.
Yeah.
I love to see that, and I love they're still calling it the Go to Sleep.
Yes.
I love all that stuff.
Before we started, you made a point of mentioning
Oh boy,
this Authors of Pain match.
Oh goodness gracious!
Because they work really stiff.
My goodness, that power. There was two things. There was a power bomb.
Yeah.
Where they threw that guy as hard as they could to the ground.
And there was that part where Chris Payne was trying to escape or something.
Yeah.
And one of the Authors of Pain guys pulled him out and then hit him really hard.
Yeah.
And the guy kind of landed awkwardly on the back of his neck.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
These guys are stiff. These guys are terrifying. They're like the stuff of nightmares. That's good though.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. That's quality booking.
It is. They're scary.
They are.
The Authors of Pain. What a great name.
It is a good name.
The Authors. I would have thought of that. That was a good name. Authors of Pain.
It's good. It's real good.
Yeah, it's really good.
So we had a promo from Ty Dillinger.
He's too much of a normal dude. He's just a normal dude.
It makes him relatable.
Yeah, but I shouldn't be on the same level as somebody who proclaims to be the perfect 10.
In what way?
In
what way are you on the same level?
I feel like seriously, I feel like he can be chilling here with us at the desk.
Oh, that'd be great.
Right. But you're not a perfect 10. I'm definitely not a perfect 10. I don't want
But I'm still. What's your criteria here? What's your metric?
Oh well, you're a perfect 10. You're across all things. You're the best.
Well, where is he lacking?
What you like to say, gravitas.
Well, that was.
I feel like the perfect 10.
I don't think that was the point of that promo. Though was.
Oh, regardless, but no, just the way he talks. The way he talks, he sounds like he's just some dude at the gym.
No.
He does. He sounds like a well learned guy. He's a learned individual.
Not everybody has to speak with gravitas all the time.
I'm saying if you're proclaiming to be 10s across the board, then you should have some weight to your words. He just sounds like it. No, he says, look, dude, he's relatable, but I can't relate to somebody who's the perfect 10 because I'm not the perfect 10. I'm not 10s across the board. At best, I'm a lot of 7s. I mean, you're like, all 6s, baby.
Whoa. See, and I was about to say you're being generous to yourself by saying you're all 7s, but I held my tongue.
I'm being generous saying you're all 6, man.
All right. You're just fueling the fire for heel Larson.
Heel Larson.
Heel Larson. In our main event.
Yeah.
No Way Jose.
They gave him the longest promo or the longest entry.
There's a lot of long entrances in NXT.
But you know what? I don't care how long Bobby Roode's is.
Dude, the spinning pedestal he was on was glorious.
It was amazing. It was glorious. And
So
the way they perfectly light his jacket or his robe, rather.
They must put a bloom filter on it or something.
It's amazing. It is glorious.
He looks luminescent.
He does.
Looks like he's putting out light.
He is like a deity of some sort.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
A luminescent deity. He is. Comes down, and I still think that this is a conundrum, man. Is he going to continue trying to be a heel? Like when he does promos, is he going to be able to do that? Or did they just off the bat say, okay, that's not going to work? Nobody's going to take him seriously as a heel.
I think he could kind of still do heel stuff while people cheer him just because of the NXT atmosphere.
Sure, yeah.
Because they respect quality work.
Yeah.
I think when he gets to main, that's going to be an issue.
That's going to be a problem, man. Because you're never going to not cheer this guy.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, I think they might have gone too far with how far can we push this heel thing and be as entertaining as possible, but still be a heel?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
The Cruiserweight Classic. Bobby Roode went over.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Cruiserweight Classic final.
Yeah.
Was last night.
A really, really great.
Did we
2
know
hour
going
live
into
event.
this that they were going to debut the belt?
No.
No, we didn't. That's what I thought. Because when he busted out that gorgeous looking belt, Larson, this was gorgeous. I loved it. It looked different, man.
Yeah.
It was a different design, unique to its own thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was purple.
Yeah.
So any thought of a SmackDown getting a Cruiserweight? And it's funny because did you notice that they didn't now when we did that we heard that that SmackDown was looking at a Cruiserweight division. Mm-hmm. Obviously that hasn't been officially made.
Yeah.
But where did we hear that from again? Was that Observer? Was that a confirmed thing that they were looking into?
No, I don't know if it. Well, I mean, obviously it wasn't confirmed or hasn't been confirmed officially.
Right.
I don't remember where.
Yeah. Okay. Because there, Morrow was saying, I'd really love to have these Cruiserweights here on SmackDown.
Did you notice Morrow called Monday Night Raw the most prestigious wrestling show, even though he calls SmackDown?
Yeah, and then I saw Mick Foley tweeted out. He said, "Boy, it'd be so great to have people like Daniel Bryan and Mauro Ranallo calling the Cruiserweights on Raw." And Corey Graves tweeted back, "Hey Mick, it's not like you have somebody who already knows what they're talking about on the show." I like that. That was good.
I know it was good.
Corey Graves. Way to have a ball sack.
So let's talk about the matches last night.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wednesday night.
The people we knew were already signed. Won.
Yeah, pretty much.
We know T.J. Perkins and Grand Metalik were already Metalik. I like saying his name that way, Metalik. We knew they were getting signed to Raw. Zack Sabre Jr. and Kota Ibushi, not so much. So we figured that would be the case, but good matches.
Yeah. What do you, after watching the Zack Sabre match last night and following the conversation we had last time about his ring psychology?
Yeah.
Did he do anything
not really
in that match to change your feelings?
A modicum of a small amount of difference, maybe.
He was more intense
this
week in terms of how he delivered his moves, and he was more physical, which is nice to see.
I just think that his style of wrestling isn't something that I really care too much about, that I can really get into. So maybe give it a couple years. You need give him a journeyman's.
He's still only 28, something like that.
Oh, is he that old? Oh wow, I figured.
I think so.
I figured he looks like a baby.
I could be wrong, but I thought he was around 28.
Yeah, I mean, give him 6 years. Everybody's coming in when they're 34 these days.
I know.
It's the thing to do. So yeah, come back when you're 34. He's super fit. He'll still be fit.
Yeah.
He's a small guy. So I don't know. Give him some time. I'll come around.
Grand Metalik went over.
Yep. Yep. Kota Ibushi versus TJ Perkins.
Fantastic.
Hell of a match.
Great storytelling.
Hell of a match. Then we got Gargano and Ciampa, Team DIY, versus Cedric Alexander, personal favorite here, and Noam Dar.
Yeah, I missed this match because it was late, and I wanted to make sure I watched the final so we could talk about it.
Noam Dar has been signed, hasn't he?
Yeah, both Alexander.
All these dudes are signed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. This match had a couple botches, but every time I looked up at the screen, because I was half writing, half watching, I was really impressed. Loved it. Yeah, look, Gargano and Ciampa, they're going to be huge stars.
Yeah.
They're going to be huge stars. And then the final, TJ Perkins versus Grand Metalik.
Yeah.
Yeah, good match.
Yeah, it was really good.
Really good match. TJ Perkins was fucked up afterwards.
Man, the welts he had in his chest from all those chops.
That was nasty.
Woo.
That was nasty. Then Triple H comes down, gives him the pedigree, hands that belt back over to Grand Metalik.
That didn't happen.
I really wish it did, though. Just because Kayfabe News put out a little, they're like the Onion of the WWE. They put out a little story saying that Triple H won the Cruiserweight Classic, and he's gonna take. What do you got there? You got a book? I can't read a book right now. Anyways, yeah, that's it now for the dirt sheet because I'm on dad duty right now.
Apparently.
Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.